Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today's challenge, a bunch of you wanted me to try out the triple shotgun setup. So I'm going to be using the 870 as my primary weapon, the shorty as the secondary, and the final slot is the M26 dart. The twist on the entire thing, though, and to make things a little bit more fun and interesting, is that I am going to be switching between each of them after every single kill. So I'll start off with the 870, a reliable weapon, switching over to the secondary, the shorty, which gets the job done, but not as strong, and then finally end it with the M26 dart. This was the most fun I've had in Battlefield in quite some time. Like, there were, of course, some moments that I was getting frustrated because, well, shotguns in this game are a little fickle at times, but when I was able to get an amazing flank off, and you will see just some stupid flanks where I don't even know what the enemy was doing, I'm just, like, constantly juggling between these three weapons, taking each and every single player out, and it was fun. Like, it's fun to watch. I felt like I was Rambo, and overall, this challenge was just an absolute blast. The one thing that I noticed was that I've never used the shorty shotgun. I may have picked it up once or twice when I killed an enemy recon who was trying to take me out in close encounter combat, but I've never actively placed this on my soldier. I've never thought to myself, oh, we're playing on this particular map, the shorty would be flawless. The moment I realized this, and the moments I put the pieces together, was when I tried to aim down sight. I had no idea that you couldn't aim down sight with this weapon. I assumed you could do that with every gun in Battlefield 4. And so when I finally made that realization that I've never actually used a gun or actively used it, not only did it come as a surprise, but I also just had a good laugh because normally I pride myself in trying out every single gun or every single setup in the game. But as for the actual weapon itself, it's not too shabby. Like, when I first started using it, I assumed that it was going to be pretty much as good as every other primary shotgun in the game. I'm an idiot. Like, I fully admit I'm an idiot. And so when I first started using it, I was like, this sucks. Why would anyone want to use this? And then I was like, no, you're so stupid. Of course it's not going to be able to one-shot people consistently because it's a secondary weapon. I wouldn't expect this of my MP443. You guys know I love my MP443. I wouldn't even expect it of that gun. Why am I going to assume that just because this is a shotgun variant of all of the other secondary weapons in the game, that it's going to be a lot more powerful? And so with that in mind, it's a pretty good shotgun. Like, being able to round a corner, and as long as you're able to line up a shot and get almost all of your pellets to land in the enemy, and being able to drop someone from 100% to 0 with a secondary weapon, like, that's a fair amount of killing potential in your hands for a gun that is not meant to really be used as a primary weapon. I still wouldn't say that you would want to run around with this bad boy as a primary. You're probably not going to last very long, especially since it only has 3 rounds in its magazine. But if you're in a tight spot and you know someone's about to round the corner on you, you put 2 rounds down range, it's almost 100% guaranteed kill. The one thing, though, that did get a little frustrating with this challenge really just comes down to the way that shotguns work in Battlefield 4. I don't know what it is about the mechanics. I don't know if it's just because I suck at the game or I suck with shotguns in general, or if it's just because of the bad netcode or netcode related issues. But whenever I go against an enemy and I'm 4 feet in front of them and I hit them directly in the center of their body and I get a hit marker and they don't die, that's infuriating. Like, that gets me killed over and over and over again. And especially when I'm about to get that epic flank off. You guys have probably had this on multiple occasions where you see just that clump of enemies off in the distance. They have no idea you're there. You get closer, one enemy turns around, you slap him in the face with your shotgun round, you get a damn hit marker. He, of course, proceeds to put a bunch of bullets into your face, you die, and then that amazing flake that you worked for, you spend a good 30 seconds to a minute to get the flank off, is completely ruined. That sucks. Like, that happened way more often than I care to admit. And so let me know if I'm just doing something wrong. It could be something on my end. Like, maybe I just have no idea what I'm doing when I'm using shotguns. Maybe I'm not aiming at the right section of their body. Maybe I'm moving around too often when I'm shooting. Like, that could be my problem. But I think it just really comes down to is that the netcode may be a little fickle when using these particular weapons. Maybe it's just something about the shotguns in general. And I'm crossing my fingers that when the big update happens, the one we've been waiting waiting on, which should be arriving next week. It should be coming on September 30th. I'm crossing my fingers that that will alleviate a lot of these issues. It's one of the biggest reasons why I don't usually use shotguns in Battlefield 4. I love them. Like, I love them back in Battlefield 3. I thought that they were amazing back then, but just because these moments happen so frequently and you have these hair-pulling moments, it just doesn't seem to be worth it, and it detracts from my overall enjoyment of the game. But when those issues weren't coming up, this challenge was masterful. Like, I haven't had this much fun in Battlefield 4 in quite some time, because when I would get these flanks off, my heart was pounding, like more so than normal. Like, I had to juggle between all of the guns. I had to know the strengths and weaknesses of all of them. Of course, when I got moved on over the shorty shotgun, for example, I knew I needed to be a little bit more careful with my shots. And when I was successful and when I was able to go on these kill streaks and get these flanks off, God, there isn't many things cooler in the game. Like, my heart was pounding throughout the entire time. I had a blast, and hopefully that comes through in the gameplay. I wouldn't say that this was the most difficult challenge that I partaken in with this video series, because let's be honest, I've done some things that are way more absurd, but it was a great change of pace. I love the juggling aspect of it, and so I'm so happy that you guys recommended this. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a terrible weapon setup or a challenge that you would like me to partake in, let me know down below. It can be a terrible combination of attachments on a weapon. It can be a gadget that you would like me to use. Anything under the rainbow. You guys can use your imagination down below. But until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.